folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Today we're going to revisit an idea I put out a little while ago during the Charizard UPC Lost Origin time period, and that idea was that of Charizard fatigue. Remember that? The idea was that Pokemon was printing so many different Charizards in so many different sets that it was too much for the hobby to absorb. It was too many Charizards to care about, and because of that, we started to see simultaneous drop in all of the Charizard cards across all of the modern sets and eras. At the same time, mind you, that the whole market wasn't dropping, a lot of the other sets and top rarity cards were all seeing price increases at the same time, which led us to believe people had stopped caring about the big fire lizard. And before, if you don't remember, if you haven't been around a long time, it had always been accepted before all of this that if Pokemon comes out with a Charizard set and they have a big Charizard card, throw your money at it. It's almost guaranteed to go up with time. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to revisit a lot of these cards and a lot of these eras and see if that was still the case in 2024. And I got to tell you, I'm about to show you the numbers. It's surprising. A lot of the Charizard love seems to have returned to the hobby. Some Charizards are still dropping or staying stagnant, but a lot of them are seeing price rises. Some of them are starting to skyrocket again. So if you were holding off sort of completing that collection with that one Charizard card in that set, or you were holding off sort of, investing in whatever Charizard you were wanting to, now might be the time because we are starting to see some price movement. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Before we do that, though, got to give a shout out to today's video sponsor. Low Popping has their own website now, and I got to tell you, it looks great. So they have all these scans of their cards you can click on. They have categories you can break them down to, cards or video games, all the different grades, all the different languages, the different graders, what year they're from, the different card games. It's really great. And guys, they got the highest of high end on here for all the whales out there. I mean, they got PSA 10 Shadow Lizards. They got Japanese Master Scrolls and Beckett Pristine 10s. They truly have some crazy stuff on this site, but not all of it's the super, super high end. They got stuff, all in the middle and the low end as well. But I like seeing some of this stuff. I mean, these are awesome cards. And what's really cool about this, like say you want this perfect CGC 10 Umbreon, you can click on it. And yeah, you can always add it to cart and buy it, but you can also DM them on Instagram or email them and you can make them an offer, right? They have a buy now, pay later option. And also they do have a trade option. So, if you want to make a trade for this card, if you want to make a trade and cash deal, they will work with you. So make sure to check out lowpopping.com. They truly have something for everyone. And I know some people say, well, Alex, that card or this card's overpriced. I'll tell you right now, I've seen cards on here that I've actually sold the same card myself on eBay for more. So I think what it really comes down to is you just got to shop around. Some are going to be more, some are going to be less, but the more places you can shop, the more deals you are going to find. So the link for their website will be in the description below. Getting into today's video. All right. I'm going to go through every modern era, right? We're going to look at X, Y, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, Scarlet, Violet. We're going to look at promos. We're going to look at set cards, the top rarities in the sets. And I'm not going to cherry pick data. I'm going to show you all the data. There are some that are still down or stagnant, but I think a lot of them are moving up, and some of them are actually skyrocketing up right now. And so I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on so you can make informed decisions for yourself. So we'll start with XY. All right, this is the Charizard EX from the Generations Red and Blue collection. It's an awesome card. I still love this card. I got the Flareon and Magmar on there. But this card recently, you can see it's starting to have some uptick this month. Okay, obviously, guys, for the year, yeah, it's down. But we're talking about the here and now. And for the 3 month and 1 month, we are starting to see some price spikes. We are starting to see some sales happen. So popularity does seem to be returning to this card. We have this Charizard EX. This is another XY promo released back then. It's still in the downturn. So it's down. It's staying stagnant. You can see for the year, it's definitely the same type of thing. And so this is one of those cards that just isn't seeing any movement. But again, I mean, this is I just pulled this random Charizard promo. A lot of people don't even know this card exists. It's not that fancy of a card, so it makes sense. Here is the full art Charizard promo from Sun and Moon time, though. Okay, now this card is seeing massive price spikes. So, I mean, it's down in the 20s. Now it's down in the high 20s. You can see the year. It's definitely far off its bottoms. So it does look like some popularity is returning to that card. We have the Reshiram Charizard. This is it's a tag team card, but it's actually a promo SM201. Now this one, it's still seeing some downward pressure. Here's the 3 month chart. Here's the 1 year chart. So it's up for the year, right? It's up for the year, seeing some popularity return to it. But lately it does seem like it's kind of stagnating out and even dropping a little bit. But it is off its year lows. All right. All right. Now let's get the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection Zards. All right. Charizard V-Star with the Mewtwo, one of my favorite cards. It's seeing some trends up, right? It was in the 7s. It jumped up in the, maybe 10, 11 mark. It's back down to 9s, but it is seeing some price trending up. You can see the year chart. It did kind of like stagnate and bottom out. Now it's seeing some spikes upwards. And so it does seem the bleeding has stopped. It's not like it's too late to move in. It hasn't like moved up a lot, but it does seem like the bleeding has stopped on these cards. Here's the Charizard VMAX from the UPCs. Saw a big price spike up in the high teens, fell back down in the low teens, but it's definitely off its lows. Here, as you can see, the lows were down under $10. So you can see here selling, $12, $13 range. So it does seem like the bleeding has stopped on these UPC promos. Here's the last one, the Charizard V. Really kind of sideways, nothing really to say about it. It's definitely kind of off its lows, I would say, but nothing crazy is happening. But this is a good sign. This is a sign that people are no longer, fire selling it, and people are actually starting to want it and buy it for their collections. All right, next up, we'll get into the set cards. The Secret Rare Blue Charizard from Flashfire, another one of my favorite cards. Love this card. This one's actually seeing massive price movements up. So 3 months ago, this card was 320s. Now we're seeing sales here. You can see right here, a sale for 385, and that's near mint. What we're seeing, like, was that 20% price move in a few months? Here's the year chart. It's massively up for the year. So Flashfire Charizard Secret Rare, definitely seeing some moves up. Here's the other Secret Rare from Flashfire. This is the regular Charizard. I don't like to take charts like this that see massive one sale spikes. But for the year, it is still pretty much, higher. It was selling from the 80s. You can see right here, there are sales in the hundreds. So it is up even in the last 3 months. Yes, it is up. So again, these XY Charizards, they're moving. Here's the last one from Flashfire, the Full Art Charizard. It is still down a bit. For the year, it's also down. And so I don't know what this says. People are just chasing the top rarities and they don't want the full art version. I mean, I really like this artwork, but this is actually one that is still moving down. So again, it's just hit and miss. It's really hit and miss right now, depending on the Charizard. So here's the Charizard from Generations. All right, it wasn't the full art. It was just a regular Mega EX, but it is also still down. It was in the 60s 3 months ago. Now it's all the way down here. This is all light play. Let's see if we can find near mint. So here's a $40, $56. So it's definitely lower than where it was. And it's definitely seen a massive drop off in the year. So, again, I think what's happening is people are being very selective in the Charizards they collect because there are just so many. So the Charizards that people really want, that are really sought after, those are seeing price spikes. And then all the other ones in between, they're still seeing stagnation and downward trends. I think that's what it's going to really come down to, is really being selective on the ones that you want to collect. Here's the Evolutions Charizard, the regular hollow, reverse hollow. Those are all seeing trends up. There's the 3 month chart, and here's the 1 year chart. You can see this was kind of during the Charizard fatigue era. They bottomed out down here, and we are seeing price movements up in the last 3 months. So it does seem like some popularity is returning to Evolutions. Same goes with the full art. This is the Evolutions full art Charizard. Guys, this is wild. I mean, low 30s, low mid 30s. Now it's, near mint just over $50. Guys, this is like, what is that? Like a 40% price move? Something like that, almost 50%. That's sort of wild. If you look at the year chart, that's a spike. So I don't know what's kind of popularity has been returning to this card, but this Evolution Charizard full art seems to be one of the ones people want. And so just seeing some of these spike just shows you the market is starting to appreciate them again. All right, let's move into Sun and Moon. The big boy, right? This is probably one of the most expensive modern Charizards. It might be the most expensive. The Charizard GX from Burning Shadows, right? This rainbow one. It's seen some price moves up. It was in the low 330s. And now let's see what the most recent sales were. Near mint, 355, 399. They're at 279 low. Seen some in the 500s. Some crazy sales, but it looks like an average is in the high threes. So definitely a good 10%, if not more, price move up on this Charizard lately. And so, people are even going back and collecting the higher end expensive ones. Now we get into some of the tag team Zards. So the tag team Zards, they're seeing a lot of the fall off still, sort of from the tag team, deflation we've been seeing. So these are definitely seeing some downward trends. So, 140s down in the 120s, somewhere in the 110s. So that's a good fall off. That's about a 20% or plus fall off. In the year, you'll see it just having a massive decline because of the big tag team pump we saw. So that's the Charizard Rescue Ram from Unbroken Bonds. And this is the Charizard Braxian from Cosmic Eclipse. It was a $100 card. Now you can see, you can pick it up down here in like the 80s, mid 80s, high 80s. For the year, it's not too far down for the year. It's pretty stagnant, maybe a little down. But for the last 3 months, we're definitely seeing a fall off. I think that has more to do with the tag team fall off and less to do with the Charizard, because a lot of the tag team cards are doing that. But nonetheless, it is down. And then, you know what I didn't do? I'm going to do it on screen. I didn't pull up the Hidden Fates Charizard for some reason. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't have that one saved. All right, Hidden Face Charizard. Let's look how this guy's doing. Okay, so this one, in the last 3 months, now this one's down as well. It was in the high threes. It's kind of all over the place, though. We've seen a sale right here in the 420. Then we see one at 330, 360s, 419. This one's just all over the place. The chart shows it down here. It's probably fair because it's all over the place. But for the year, it's still up for the year. It's just seeing a downtrend lately. And so, again, it's really just hit and miss on which Charizard you're going after. Here's the Burning Shadows Charizard full art. It's seeing a trend upward. You can see it's, very clearly having some spikes up, but overall the trend is moving up. Here's for the year. You can see it bottomed out and starting to move up. So again, I think just the Charizard fatigue is officially ending for most of these cards. Here is that same card in a rainbow version in Champion's Path. Clearly having some massive price moves in the last 3 months. The 150s. Now it's up in the, what was it, 190? Guys, that's like over 20, 25, almost 30% gain at this point. For the year, you can just see that for the year chart. It's now up for the year. It's kind of taken away all the losses for the year. Now it's up. And the last 3 months, we're seeing it really starting to explode. Same thing with this other Champion's Path Charizard. This is the Charizard V, the black one. Love that card. Massive spikes recently. From the 160s up in the 180s, going from about $180, $175. So very clearly 10% plus gain there. For the year, you can see it's already took away all the losses for the year. And now it's up. So these Champion's Path Charizards are starting to get more sought after. Moving into the Shining Fates Charizards, this is the shiny version of that full art in rainbow version. Same thing. Saw lows down here in the 60s. Now it's selling near $80. Go for the year chart. You can see it sort of bottomed out, stagnated. Now it's starting to move up. All right, now let's look at the Celebrations UPC Charizard and then also the Celebration Charizard. This is that gold medal Charizard in the Ultra Premium Collection. This one, it's seeing a little bit, I guess, of movement up in the past month or so. But for the year, it's definitely still down and remaining stagnant. So I'm not going to try to make it sound like it's doing great things or anything. I would say the bleeding has stopped. Like very clearly, it looks like the bleeding has stopped, but no movements up yet. Could that mean there's a play there? Possibly. And then here is the regular Charizard from the Celebrations. Up and down, guys. This one's just pretty much stagnant. You could argue it's a little bit down. No major moves. I don't know if there's a rush to get in, but there's definitely probably not a rush to sell either. It's just kind of just a sideways card right now. Now we got the Brilliant Stars. So first we're going to start out with the Rainbow V-Star from Brilliant Stars. Massive spike recently. Massive. We're talking from the 40s up into the 60s. We saw one here sell at $70. So very clearly 20, 30% move there. For the year, you can see this was the Charizard fatigue time. Everything was going down. The alt arts were going down. A lot of the Sword and Shield sets were trending down. Massive spike recently. So that kind of tells you where people's minds are and where their money's heading. And then here's the Charizard V, the alt art version from Brilliant Stars. Love this card with the Venusaur. I think this is a massively underrated card. But same thing. Massive spikes recently. This thing was down near $100. Now we're seeing sales back in the $125 range. So, that's like a 25% gain, 20% gain. For the year, same chart. Like, it looks terrible for the year. I get it. But that's because we were on that decline with alt arts, decline with the Charizards. But it does look like in the last 3 months of this moving. So, look, I'm not trying to tell you to rush into anything. But, if you've been waiting on these things, the waiting might be over. Last one I took was the Charizard 151 from 151, the Charizard illustration rare. I didn't look at all the Obsidian Flame stuff because all these sets are too new. And honestly, it's not even fair to look at this one because it's so new. The reason I wanted to look at it is because this is crazy. This is not normal for a new set. New sets normally trend straight down after release. For this Charizard to be holding its value and continuing to almost still rise, you can still see this trend line moving up. It's wild to see this much love. Now, I get it. 151 is a set like no other. It's got popularity unmatched in anything modern times, really. And so I understand the set doing well, and I understand this card doing well. But it does show you that Charizard is still loved. It's still the top hit in the set, and it's still holding up better compared to a lot of the other cards in that set, which are seeing downturns recently. And so, guys, with all this data, take it for what you will. I would say, looking at this, what do we think? 80, 85% of all the Charizards are seeing growth. We are seeing moves up. Some of them are stagnant, and then others, we are still seeing some downturns, especially with the tag teams and some of those less popular ones like back in XY with the non-full art versions. But overall, it does seem to me, I think I'm ready to call it, the Charizard fatigue era is over. I truly believe the Charizard fatigue is over. I think it definitely is worth picking up some of these top hits and top rarities for your collection or to finish those sets or maybe for an investment if you want to invest in singles or slabs. because it looks like we might have hit bottom. We might be seeing the bottom bounces. And it's not to say that they're going to go to the moon. I'm not telling you to rush in and FOMO and you're going to get rich quick. But it might be time to start, nibbling, start finding those deals and start moving in, because as more and more people see this data, as more and more people start to realize that, more and more people may start to pick up those cards they have been waiting for and move those prices upward. So as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure to check out Low Poppin'. Their link will be in the description in the comment section below. And subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. Other than that, my name's Alex, and this is Nostalgianomics. I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.